Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. On this episode I'm going to show you the MR2 that I've just bought. Here it is. It's a Rev 2 MR2 turbo. I wasn't really looking for one. From a distance it's very tidy, it does need some love, but I'll start with what I found so special about it. So right at the beginning, you can tell when a car's been loved by the tyres it's got, and this has got Michelin Pilot Sport tyres. It's also got high spec 315 front discs. The wheels aren't amazing, but they're forged. They're 7J front and rear, which means they're not staggered, but I can sort that with spacers for the time being if need be. But yes, it's got high specs on the front, and it's got 312, I think they are, bells and rotors on the rear with caliper extensions. I'm not sure what pads, I'll have to pull them out and have a look. The inner arches are really good. The seals aren't too bad. Now what was putting a lot of people off was the misalignment on this rear quarter with the boot. It looked like it had a huge accident, and to be fair, when I pulled up and saw it I thought the same. And the fact that it's got a Rev 4 spoiler and cookies did make me wonder what had happened to it. But upon opening the boot, and after speaking to the guy, I realised that this car had been driven to the Nürburgring quite a few times, and this was a weight saving measure. He'd removed the inner lining of the boot, which, as you can see, it wobbles around quite a lot, which is why it then doesn't shut, because there's no support. I can bend that with my hand. So yeah, so that was the first relieving point. And then when I went to check the inner arches, I noticed it still has water meth. Inner arches are really good, no major rust. Pockets are good too. So upon seeing that, the next thing to check was to pull this cover off, and I noticed it had a Motec ECU. Now, I know nothing about Motecs. I've had Lynx, I've had AEM, I've had Hondata, but I know Motec is a motorsport amazing ECU, and the fact that it's got like a coil booster by HKS made me realise that the spec sheet I'd seen on the built engine was all beginning to be true. So here it is. This is a built Rev 2 engine. It's got HKS 264 cams, exhaust and inlet. It's got a hybrid turbo. It's got HKS steel head gasket. It's got super injectors. It's got HKS induction. But it's all very, very tight. It's got a big intercooler. A fan runs all the time on it. It has got a hideous aerial through the turbo lid, which I will need to sort. So yeah, so the engine supposedly is running 308 horsepower, but that was when it was on its previous setup, and it's had a bit done to it since. It hasn't been back on the dyno, so I need to get that part of it sorted. Let's flick through to the front, and then I'll show you inside the car. Yeah, it's also got matching Michelins on the rear. It has got a little 5mm spacer, but if I roll the arches, because we're pretty close at the moment, a little bit of surface rust there, but nothing it's not scabby, it's just starting to bubble, so I can sand that and get that better. But yeah, if I rolled that, I could get another 10mm, 15mm on the rear. It's got electric folding mirrors. It has got a bit of crust here, and the paint on the roof is pretty awful, along with this wing. I think it's had a blowover at some point, which may have been when it had the Rev 4 rear end put on. I'll actually try and look for filler marks where the Rev 2 spoiler would have sat. So it has a strut brace up front. I think that's the stock piece with a strut brace in front of it. Come with a trickle charger, brand new battery. So Anyone that knows their MR2s will see it's got ABS, and it also has steering fog lights, which was another extra that I quite liked. However, one of them unfortunately has a chip in it, so I might see if I can scavenge an old one, take them apart and repair just the glass, because they're getting harder to get hold of. It's got HIDs, which were installed quite a way back. Paid a lot of money for them to be done. Probably not MOT passable. It's got its little flap still on the inner wing. So let's get to the inside. So upon opening the door, literally I drove it back yesterday, I've not even emptied the passenger seat. I noticed when I went to look behind the seat that it has got harnesses. Don't know how I feel about running harnesses on a stock seat, but it's got subs both sides as well. Not a massive fan of the silver inserts, but they can all be changed. It's got a Blitz turbo timer up here, which also works as a boost gauge, I found out. It's quite nice when you see old maps, you don't see these anymore. Bits of history. I've got a wad of paperwork with the car, but I've never owned a T-top, and the previous owner assures me it doesn't leak, only if you jet wash it hard. But yeah, in the advert, when I went to see it, it was meant to have IBAC lowering springs. However, it has got BC coilovers, which was a massive bonus. I also saw the Momo Corsa steering wheel in the advert, and I thought, oh, it's going to be a 350mm, which I don't really like. It's a bit like driving a truck, but it's not. It's a 330mm. I might go back to Alcantara. I had Alcantara on the K-swap one. But yeah, it's in really nice nick. Once again, the silver's been done up here. The previous owner bought it off this older gentleman and then continued with it. I didn't quite know what the lights did, but on the way back I did give it some beans and found out they're shift lights. So I also found that the pedals with these covers on make heel and toe in very easy, because I did it quite a few times accidentally. It does have folding mirrors, I think I said that, but it's got harnesses, yeah, front and rear, which was a bonus that I wasn't expecting. So yeah, so on the whole, oh, it's also got, I haven't pulled this up yet to check, but it's got a very short throw to the shifter, TRD knob. So what that does mean is that it's probably got a TRD short shifter. Let's have a look. Not obvious to tell, but there is a receipt for the TRD knob and the TRD shifter. So yeah, I was wondering, because it's quite short, whether it had a lowering plate, but it doesn't. So yeah, it's definitely a shorter shift knob. But yeah, on the whole, oh, and the other thing I haven't had for a while is it's got up and down and in and out adjustments for the steering rack. The cold start's pretty awful. You have to sit and hold the revs for a couple of minutes to get it to idle properly. It's quite lumpy, but it sounds amazing. Rough ride, all fans are on. I think it's warmed up now. Take the foot off throttle. Yeah, there we go. It's quite lumpy. Clutch is quite nice. It's very similar to the K-swap one I had. Oh, there you go. Stalled it. What a twat. It's got the original Japanese flare down there. I think I've cleared that out. Can't remember if there's anything else in any of these. Not just CDs, some gloves, some fuses. It's always good when you go through the stuff left in a car and find a Nürburgring course. So yeah, the guy wasn't telling porkies when he said it's been around the Nürburgring a few times. Sabine, oh wow, it's got Sabine's number on it. Yeah, while I'm talking about this, I'll post up a screenshot of the spec that when I went to buy it, and I've got wads of receipts. Everything that's been fitted to it, I've got a receipt for. So yeah, so I'm really happy with my purchase. And here comes my wife with the EP3. I haven't really got on with the EP3, so I'm going to sell it. But yeah, it looks lovely. Yeah, so keep tuned to the channel. I'm going to try and find someone that knows Motec ECUs, get it on the dyno and see what power it's running at the moment, and how healthy it's running. Maybe give it a retune, because it was mapped a good few years ago. It'd be interesting just to see how well it's running. But yeah, please like, subscribe and follow the progress on this one. So yeah, see you on the next one.